Eastern Illinois University to me has been a place where I've really got to figure out who I am and then use that experience to help other students figure out who they are.
EIU to me is home, and it's also a sense of family.
Do we produce outstanding academic students, or do we produce scholars, or do we just produce students who come here, get C's, are okay with that, and then leave and go find a job somewhere? So, you know, what type of distinguishing features does Eastern have, which I feel like right now we're trying to work on figuring out what those are.
The changes that I see happening for next year are a few. I think we saw enrollment slide a little bit this year, and I think we can anticipate a little bit of that for next year as well. So I would overall anticipate just a lower number of incoming student body. I think it'll have a few different effects actually, with our state funding us a little bit less every year, every semester. The ability to fall back on tuition dollars is going to be more important in the coming year, and I think with less students that's going to have a direct impact on how we allocate money and what we're using things for here at the institution. But I also think it will have some positive effects in that with smaller student body here on campus, our professionals via professional staff in the residence halls, academic professors, all of that will have less students to really have to function with, so they can really give a lot more detail and attention to each individual student.
I know that they're only filling half of the Carmen Hall residence. They're actually cutting it down to 4 floors on each tower, which is half of the capacity it normally is. Budget obviously has always been a little tight since the recession's really hit, but they still make sure we all get the same amount of RHA funds or Hall Council funds. I still get my fund for the night assistant program.
Not many freshman students or students in general knew that when the government cut the MAP grant by 5%, Eastern covered that cost by 5% to sort of balance that out. So students, I don't think many students knew that Eastern was doing all they could to help those students keep that free money. But next year they're cutting the MAP grant even more, which means less financial aid for students. I mean, there's a lot of changes that come to mind for what to improve on campus. I mean, we can always talk about planting more flowers, making the campus more scenic, adding some more color to it instead of just all of the green that we have on campus. Branding buildings, adding blue and silver awnings to buildings, putting more panthers out in general. I mean, do you see any panthers when you walk across campus? Not really at all. You don't see paws, you don't see our mascot anywhere. There's no blue even, if you think about it.
Some changes that I think should happen to really look at student enrollment are to really look at our admissions process and what that means to Eastern. I think we've done some good things this year.
Eastern again just passed this amendment, I guess you could say, to who we offer in-state tuition for.
Every state that touches Illinois, students will now get in-state tuition to any state that resides, like touching Illinois, any state. And I think that's a really good step, but now it's more getting people on the ground and really starting to press what Eastern offers. And that's really where it comes down to, getting people to spread the word about what Eastern is.